Comedian Andrew Schulz is no stranger to controversy. Known for his sharp wit and unapologetic takes, he's built a career on pushing boundaries. But this time, has he gone too far? Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into the latest controversy surrounding comedian Andrew Schulz and how this might affect his career. If you're a fan of comedy or just love staying updated on celebrity drama, make sure to like, subscribe and hit that bell icon for more. Recently, Schulz sparked outrage during the James and Fuhad podcast, a podcast duo from the UK. In the clip, Schulz made remarks that many have called racially insensitive. Critics argue that his joke crossed the line from edgy to offensive, and the backlash has been swift. Social media exploded. While some fans defended him, claiming it's just comedy, others called for accountability with hashtags like #CancelAndrewSchulz. Schulz thrives on controversy. His comedy style intentionally toes the line. But in today's climate, the public tolerance for perceived racism is incredibly low. If he doesn't address this properly, it could impact his brand, sponsorships, and future bookings. So how is Schulz responding? So far, he's basically doubled down, unapologetically explaining that he's sticking to his guns. This response has only added fuel to the fire for some and has been praised by others, who see it as him staying true to his comedic style. The comedy world is divided. Some argue that Schulz's brand of humor is necessary for challenging societal norms, while others believe there's a responsibility to avoid reinforcing harmful stereotypes. This isn't the first time a comedian has faced backlash for the material, and history shows that the impact on their career can go either way. For Schulz, this controversy could either cement his reputation as an edgy, fearless comic or alienate a significant portion of his audience. We all know that black women face a lot of criticism and a lot of strays when it comes to people throwing jokes. They end up being the butt of the joke a lot of the times in history, as we've seen before, and not enough respect has been placed on them. And that's why I think a lot of people have been coming out and speaking out against Andrew Schulz because of how black women have been treated before in the past. I can understand why it might be alarming for certain people, that even though he's a comic and he is kind of allowed to make jokes about damn near anything, but people aren't allowing it and they're not letting him run with these types of jokes, especially knowing what black women, especially on the internet, go through. Not only did Schulz double down on what he said and not apologize, he also then went on to mock James and Fuhad because they came out with an apology not too long after the podcast from all the backlash they were getting, and them being people of color as well. It was kind of weird, the internet reacted weird for them to be able to just sit in Schulz's company and awkwardly laugh at the jokes. A lot of people were giving them hell, and personally, I wouldn't really give them too much backlash because you could kind of see that it was an awkward situation and they on his pod, and what are you gonna do? Call out Andrew Schulz immediately and be like, hey, don't make a joke about black women like that. Like, they just laughed awkwardly and you could see they weren't really having the best time, but they definitely laughed, and that's the point that everyone came away from this entire thing with, and that's why they ended up giving an apology. And in their apology, they said that they should have stopped him, they let it go on, and Andrew Schulz went on to literally mock the entire apology, him and his podcast co-mate Akash. Now, do I think Andrew Schulz is wrong? In some ways. Am I surprised at the fact that he came out and doubled down on his jokes that he made? Not really. He is a comedian. It is in his nature to double down on shit like that. But to be mocking James and Fuhad for their apology, I don't know, it just doesn't really sit right with me. We know Andrew Schulz has had real problems with his ego in the past, like, I'm not the biggest Andrew Schulz fan, I will admit that. I don't think the internet is overreacting. I think it's somewhat deserved. I think we also need to realize that comedians are just going to make jokes about any and everyone, and they do that. So at some point we kind of do have to accept it. When it does cross a certain line though, when it's going on for a while and it's a bit overplayed and it does get a little weird, and especially when it's racial stuff, you might start to think certain things about Andrew Schulz and the way he thinks about black women. But what do you think? Has Andrew Schulz crossed the line, or is this just another example of cancel culture going too far? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, thanks for watching. I've been Rocky, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.